which Rams players are standing out at OTAs, and is there an internal cornerback option that could be the answer at the position? Also, who's the missing piece for the Rams? That's coming up next on Locked On Rams.
You are Locked On Rams, your daily Los Angeles Rams podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What is up, Ramily, and welcome to another episode of Locked On Rams, your daily podcast covering your Los Angeles Rams. Free and available wherever you get your podcasts. Locked On Rams, part of Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. We're also available over on YouTube, so if you haven't yet, do me a huge favor. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, hit the like button, and we're trying to get to 18,000 subscribers. Getting there. My name is Doug McCain. Friends call me DMAC. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMAC_LA. I've covered LA sports for over a decade. 24/7 sports, Bleacher Report, Dodgers Nation, SI, Chat Sports. I also do NFL radio for Westwood One. And today we've got a jam-packed show. We are talking Rams OTAs, everything that people are talking about, everything you need to know, who's standing out. We're also going to talk about a missing piece for the Rams and also an internal cornerback option that could change the calculus for the Rams roster build. But first, today's episode of Locked On Rams brought to you by our friends over at Monarch Money. Take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONNFL at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. So lots of little rumblings at Rams OTAs. It hasn't gone crazy yet in the world of the Ramily. We got things to talk about, though. Before we do, though, some stuff I want to follow up on. So we've talked about Aaron Donald and Jared Verse this week. And they were kind of going back and forth about, oh, let's work out together. Oh, you don't want this. Oh, let's talk. Come talk with me. That's what Aaron Donald said to Verse. Today they did it. Go on Instagram. You can see Aaron Donald and Jared Verse. They said in the video, asking you shall receive, workout video coming soon. So really cool to see that. And Rams defensive tackle Kobe Turner said that the comment, I've been waiting for this all day. Tutu Atwell tagged Jared Verse and said, look tired, my boy. Even Jalen Ramsey, who said some stuff, and he gave some laughing, crying emoji. So that's pretty interesting to see that there, to see Jalen Ramsey continuing to kind of get involved in Rams social media. Jared Verse tweet out, I tried to test a legend in Aaron Donald 97, and he responded with a workout from hell. Learned my lesson, respect OG, and a 100 emoji following that. So Jared Verse, he took the challenge, and it looks like he got a good workout in, to say the least. And based on this picture, it looks like Jared Verse looks a little more tired than Aaron Donald. So that's cool to see. But really, the talk right now is the OTAs. What's going on at OTAs? And first, we want to talk about the tight end position, because Tyler Higbee, he spoke with the media, and he made some comments about how the tight end room is looking. He said, it's honestly one of the best I've been a part of, I think, since I've been here. He said, just to top to bottom, we've got a lot of depth. I think it might allow us to do some things, get some more 12 personnel on the field. So that's good to hear. I mean, he's saying the right things. He's talking about Terrence Ferguson. He's talking about just the talent in that room. And that has been one of the big takeaways early on from everyone that has anything to say about the Rams OTAs, is that Terrence Ferguson, he's included in that group that has impressed the coaches. During the OTAs, Sean McVay said, Terrence has been good. We've seen a guy that's been really attentive in meetings, got a really good feel, just been really impressed with him, and looking forward to seeing him just continue to take it a step at a time. So that's great to see. And then offensive coordinator Mike LaFleur on the Rams' first pick. They got the 46th pick in the draft. They took him in the second round after trading out of that first round. LaFleur said he has a good demeanor about himself. He's got a cool, calm, kind of swagger demeanor about himself, fitting in a real well. He's fitting in great with these guys, and he's just continuing to get better. You just want to see guys that are willing to get better in their fundamentals And then when they're asked, maybe once a day, then they're ready to perform. You got to go attack the defense, and without the pads on, it's just still go for it, and he's not shy. So it's great to see. Like, I mean, these guys are itching to get those pads on and take it to the next level, but it sounds like Ferguson is hungry, and he can't wait for it. I mean, Matthew Stafford said, quote, he's excited for him. Again, all of his development at this stage, we're just trying to figure out who we're going to be as a team. So everyone is speaking really highly of Ferguson, and typically you get this around this time of year. I mean, everything is sunshine and rainbows in May and June, and hope springs eternal, and we understand that. But I think the interesting thing about all this is how you're going to see him implemented. How is he going to be featured? I mean, he clearly is going to be involved in some fashion. The question is how. I mean, does he do things that Cooper Kupp did, where Cooper Kupp was used in the middle of the field, moving the chains? They used him in the F package, really, in the 12 personnel package as the F. And I mean, it'll be interesting to see what the Rams do. Do you use less 11 personnel, which has been their calling card under Sean McVay for so many years, right up there as the league leader in that? But Ferguson, he's going to give you some variety. He's going to allow this offense to be more dynamic. And I think the number one area where I'm looking for him is in the red zone. The red zone has been that area where the Rams, it's been a mixed bag. I mean, I'll take it to my grave. I mean, if you have better red zone threats last couple of years, I think that there's a chance that they have another Lombardi trophy, because we saw what happened in the first matchup with the Lions in the postseason a couple years ago. You struggled in the red zone. Then last year, you kind of need to punch your ticket in more throughout the season and the playoffs as well. If he can be a guy that's a target that they hoped that Colby Parkinson was going to be, that's going to allow this offense to put up more points. And when you put up more points, you put less stress on the defense. You put less stress on the entire team, where last year it was almost like, even though they won a ton of games, weren't a ton of blowouts. I mean, there was not a lot of comfortable wins, and you're always kind of having to just manage things. And having the addition of Davante Adams, having Terrence Ferguson as a guy that could potentially do some things to stretch the field, it's going to be interesting to see what this team can do with him. And I think the cool thing, too, for Ferguson is that, I mean, it does sound like, yeah, he's not a receiver, right? He's not Cooper Kupp, but we saw back in 2017, Cooper Kupp, he showed up to OTAs, and this is the same type of tenor. This is the same type of mindset that he had, and the comments made about him were similar to the ones that are being made about Terrence Ferguson. And what happened? Well, he had a role that year. He made an impact as a rookie year, and in his rookie year as a rookie, and it was great to see him do just that. So we could see the same with Ferguson. So yeah, I mean, look, you want to hear that. You definitely want to hear that your tight ends, you want to hear that your rookies are definitely hitting the ground running and taking everything they can. And I think, too, just a great year to learn from. I mean, I don't know if you saw just Puka Nacua learning from Davante Adams. And can Davante Adams take him to the next level? And we've seen that. I mean, we've seen that throughout the history of this organization, really. I mean, from guys like from Matthew Stafford and Cooper Kupp, just imparting their knowledge and wisdom to guys like Torrey Holt and Isaac Bruce, and just kind of great receiver pairings throughout this history as they learn from each other. And it's something that I feel is transferable in the sense that I think it's kind of learning is contagious. And I think it's kind of the same thing with receivers. And I look at Puka Nacua and Davante Adams, and it feels like Puka is soaking it all in. Puka said after practice this week, he said, I think the positive impact has already been felt from Davante. From the moment he walked in, he's been willing to offer information, to have new drills, to have a complete different mindset of somebody who's playing in various offenses, very different schemes and stuff like that. So it's been exciting to hear from him. I think the suddenness and the ability to steal leverage at the line of scrimmage has been something that he thrives on, and everybody in the NFL knows that's something that is one of his greatest assets to be able to figure out and how that works in our route concepts. and timing of our defense. So I'd say that's been one of the biggest things. So what he's essentially saying is, okay, this is someone that has mastered a certain skill set as far as getting that leverage at the line of scrimmage and leading to getting in and out of your breaks and getting open and creating big plays and chunk plays and things like that. Having a guy like that in this offense and learning just the little nuances of the game, the little nuances. I mean, one thing that I can tell you about being around these athletes is, I mean, you have to be extremely specific when you're asking them questions about things like that because they are like magnifying every single small little details, and they see things that people just don't see. And clearly, it's something it's small, but it can have a big impact. So I really like the fact too that Puka and Davante, they're different types of players, right? They're not the same exact type of receivers, whereas it felt like Puka and Cooper Kupp, you had some similarities, right, in their style of play, big physical, things like that. And I think that having someone of Davante Adams' caliber and his skill set to pair alongside Puka, it's going to pay dividends this year because you're going to get the production from Davante, because I still think he has some really good years left in him. And then also it's the long-term effects of, hey, I guarantee you ask Puka probably 4 or 5 years from now about certain things, he can tell you, oh, I learned that 1 year with Davante. I learned that couple years with Davante. So, yeah, I mean, this is a major luxury. I mean, this is like, I mean, you're paying a tutor or something, but he's also going to be able to perform for you. So you're getting the long-term effects and the short-term benefits from it as well. And I think, too, that it's going to take some pressure off of Puka. Let's be honest. There's been a lot of pressure on him since that record-setting, that historic rookie season. And you're not going to have him have to carry the offense all by himself as the receiving core. So it's going to be fun to see these two guys together. I think having a mentor type of relationship is only going to help him. And I think that this is going to help him a lot more than a lot of people realize. And I think that it's going to be very, very massive for his career development. So really, really excited about this because, I mean, this receiving core is, I think, going to be special this year because I think Matthew Stafford's going to light things up. And I think that we're going to be talking about them as one of the best duos in the sport. And overall production, I think we're getting 1,000 yards at the minimum from each of them. I'm curious, though, if they go to Taco Bell together. I wonder what Puka's order is at Taco Bell because we know Davante Adams loves his TCB. Wonder if he's a Taco Bell guy. So that'll be fun to talk about. And yeah, we'll see. Can Tutu Atwell learn? Can it trickle down to that as well? So there's other benefits as well. But all right, guys, coming up next, we're talking more OTAs and a missing piece. That's coming up next on Locked On Rams. And a reminder that today's episode of Locked On Rams is brought to you by our friends over at Monarch Money. Ever check your bank account and wonder, where'd all my money go? Between dining out, online shopping, and entertainment, it's easy to lose track. That's where Monarch Money comes in. Your personal CFO giving you full visibility and control over your finances. Monarch Money isn't just a budgeting app, it's a complete financial command center. You can track all of your accounts, investments, and spending in one place, so you stop just managing your money and start building your wealth. Now, when I started using Monarch Money, I realized just how much I was spending on food delivery, Uber Eats, carne asada burritos, Chipotle, whatever it is. I was using it a ton. Now I budget smarter and save more. And it's got this great all-in-one convenience to it. Instead of juggling multiple apps, you can use Monarch to check your finances, track spending, and even plan long-term goals. And what I love about it, too, is you can collaborate. You can collaborate with your wife, you can collaborate with your partner, whoever it is. Managing money with your partner is smoother than ever. You can track shared and personal accounts, set goals, and stay on the same page without the stress. So take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONNFL at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. That's monarchmoney.com, code LOCKEDONNFL for half off your first year. And we are off and running here on Locked On Rams. Thank you for making Locked On Rams your first listen every single weekday. Free and available wherever you get your podcast. Locked On Rams, part of Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Also want to give a special shout out to those everyday listeners out there watching and listening to every single episode of Locked On Rams. Cannot thank you enough. To the new listeners, to the new viewers, everyone out there that's just joined the show, the Ramley. Guys, join the Everyday Listeners Club. For June, we're doing 3 episodes a week. We're going to do some bonus episodes, though. We got some interviews, too, so be on the lookout for that. But here in our second segment, we're going to pick it up on OTAs and who's standing out. Who do you need to know about? Well, Jordan Rodriguez, The Athletic, she dropped this nugget in her latest piece about Rams cornerback Emmanuel Forbes. His confidence has grown in recent months in a new program after a disastrous time in Washington, and they are excited about that. And Aubrey Pleasant said that he really believes in Emmanuel Forbes. So that is a great thing to hear because Forbes has a high ceiling. I mean, this is a guy that a lot of people had a lot of hope for when he was in Washington, that he was going to be someone that had Pro Bowl potential, all-pro potential, just didn't work out. And the thing about the Rams, and the biggest question is, they did not do any work on the defensive side of the football at the secondary spot for cornerbacks. I mean, you did not go out there and make a big splash in free agency. You didn't go out there and draft a high-round cornerback, someone that can come in and take over that position. I mean, you brought back Ahkello Witherspoon, okay? That's not something that they did because they thought, oh, this is a guy that we believe in can be a top-tier cornerback. No, they did that for depth and because they like him in certain situations, especially if things don't work out with other players or guys get injured. But you look at the depth, you have some for sure. Kobe Durant, Darion Kendrick, Emmanuel Forbes, Darius Williams, you got Ahkello Witherspoon. That's the issue. It's not the depth. It's who are the guys going to be starting? Who are the guys that are going to go against WR1, WR2? Who are the guys going to match up against the other team's best receivers? Well, I'm not going to say it. Okay, Jalen Ramsey, we've talked about a lot on the show. Nothing new on that end. You can go back and listen to every single episode we've done that gives you up to the minute information on that. And we'll see. If it happens, it does. But if it doesn't, they're going to have to develop what they have while they wait on someone else. Now, I think Sean McVay gave some interesting insight about the cornerback position. A couple days ago, he said, I feel good about where we're at. We've gotten a lot of guys that have played meaningful ball at the cornerback position. There are a lot of young guys, or maybe even guys that are new to the Rams, but have accumulated a bunch of experience that I think we are going to continue to take steps with. So if that's the case and they don't get Jalen Ramsey or they don't go out there and make a splash and trade for a big cornerback, well, Emmanuel Forbes might be the guy they're going to lean on. I mean, the former first-round pick, the Rams claimed him off waivers when the Commanders released him. And Forbes, he didn't do much in 2024, and that's mainly because he was learning the system. They were trying to work some things out with him, and they already had guys in front of him. He did play in the Rams Week 18 game, the loss to the Seattle Seahawks. He gave 3 catches on 5 targets for 38 yards, but such a small sample size. And the thing about Forbes is, if you really want to see how much of a runway teams are going to give for certain players, just look at their contract. Look how much teams have invested in that player. And the fact is, the Rams claimed Forbes off of waivers. And by doing that, that indicated that they looked at him as a long-term solution, as a long-term project, not someone that, okay, come in, see what you get now, and then boom, you're done if it doesn't work out. No, they're going to go through the process of player development and try to figure out why that light didn't turn on, why he wasn't utilized properly with the Commanders. So they clearly are betting on his talent. And if the early part of the OTAs is any indication, it's all positive. Things are pointed in the right direction. Things are trending up. He intercepted Jimmy Garoppolo a couple of days ago while he was matched up with Xavier Smith. He had a pass breakup against Mario Williams. He had another interception the previous week. And defensive coordinator Chris Shula, he spoke highly of him. He said, Forbes has done a great job thus far. We were really excited about him in the middle of the year. It's nice to see how smart he is, see his communication, and he's done a really nice job. So, look, I mean, I think there's a little bit of, okay, coach is building up his confidence, and you want him to mentally be able to embrace this new era of his playing career. But, I mean, look, this is a guy that you need to play a big role if you think that he has the talent to do that. And what I want to see them do is, hey, if you truly believe that this guy can develop into a starting cornerback, I'd rather see it early on this season than later in the year. I think that there really isn't anyone in the secondary that deserves to say, okay, my spot is cemented because of what I've done for this organization. I think it's a pure meritocracy, a pure competition. And look, sure, like he's covering players that aren't going to be starting wide receivers, right? Like let's put that out there, right? He's not going up against Puka Nacua and Davante Adams, right? He's going against guys that are low on the depth chart. But with Forbes, I think the number one key is, can he handle the physicality of the game from a toughness standpoint? I mean, there's been a lot made about his body and he's undersized and this and that. But the truth is, I mean, I think it's really about utilizing him in spots where he can be at his best and you're not having to worry about, okay, he's kind of making tackles. No, let's highlight the things that he has over guys, right? And that is the fact that he has length, right? The arm length. I mean, if you look at his wingspan, 79 inches, that's in the 92nd percentile. I mean, that's definitely a God-given talent that can help him. I mean, you look at guys like Darion Kendrick and Kobe Durant. I mean, they're in the 34th and 26th percentile, respectively. So that is something you cannot teach, is the length that he does have. And McVay said, you see the ability in some of the individual drills, the movements, the ability to get in and out of breaks and things like that. And then the length and the ball skills to be able to pick the ball off. Those are big deals. I thought he did some really good stuff against Seattle in Week 18 last year. And I'm so encouraged to really use this as an evaluation. So, do I think he'll crack the starting spot at the very beginning of the season? Do I think that he'll start there? Probably not, but I also think that he will get a very quick opportunity if that presents itself because guys are struggling or guys get injured. Because I really do think that it's right there. I mean, Witherspoon and Williams, veterans for sure, not needle movers at this stage of their careers. So I'd rather kind of see what you have in Forbes than it, because of the potential that it could lead to, okay, we found something, then, okay, let's just kind of go with the guys that are going to be C plus and have B moments versus the guy that, hey, maybe he's a B. Maybe he has A moments, that kind of thing. It reminds me of the episode of Family Guy where they go to the timeshare salesman and the timeshare salesman comes out and he's trying to sell the timeshare to Peter and Lois, and Peter's like, I don't care about the timeshare. Give me the boat, because they're there looking for one of those little model boats. And then Peter's like, well, all right, give me the boat. And the guy's like, all right, you can have the boat or you can have what's in the mystery box. And then Peter's like, oh, I wanted the mystery box. And then Lois is like, no, get the boat. You came for the boat. And then Peter's like, no, that's a boat. The mystery box could be anything. It could even be a boat, right? And, of course, he ends up taking the mystery box, and in that was 2 tickets to a crappy comedy club, and you never know. But I kind of want to see what's in the mystery box, and I think that's what Emmanuel Forbes is. He's the mystery box, and inside that box could be a starting level corner. I mean, when you're drafted in the first round like that, you're there for a reason, and I think at the very least, he's a depth piece. At the very best, he's a plus player at a position of need, and he could turn out to be pivotal to this team's run if they don't swing a massive deal. So I'm drinking the Emmanuel Forbes Kool-Aid. I'm drinking the Emmanuel Forbes Kool-Aid, to say the least. But coming up next, the missing piece for the Rams. That's coming up next on Locked On Rams. And welcome back to Locked On Rams. Thank you for making Locked On Rams your first listen every single weekday. Free and available wherever you get your podcast. Locked On Rams, part of Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Okay, here in our third segment, NFL analyst, ESPN's Mina Kimes, she said on her podcast, one of the most underrated players of his generation, in my opinion, in the NFL. A fantastic fit for the Rams scheme. He's kind of like the missing piece for this defense. I think having Poona Ford on and being better against the run on early downs will solve a lot of problems. So that has really been something that I've been screaming this whole offseason, is that Poona Ford is going to go down as one of the most underrated signings that no one's talking about. But when the season begins, people are going to see the impact he has on this team. And I think it's going to be felt early and often. And it's one of those moves that screams Super Bowl run, that screams bringing a veteran to this defense, which they needed. And the Rams, they want him badly. I mean, he was right up there on their board of guys that they were going to target. And he's someone that's going to have an impact, and not just to stopping the run. He had 3 sacks last year for the Chargers, had 8 tackles for a loss, 39 combined tackles. I mean, people have been saying he can do Aaron Donald-like things against the run. Just stopping the run, not everything else, not getting the quarterback, but stopping the run. So you put him alongside Kobe Turner and the rest of this Rams defense, and I think that it's that extra sauce that they've lacked. They're not looking to develop someone, right? They're not looking to develop a Bobby Brown or someone like that. This is a plug-and-play veteran that you're expecting a lot out of right out of the gates. And it's very telling because the Chargers wanted him back. A lot of teams were after him. The Rams sold him on their vision and as a missing piece, right? They said, look at our defense right now with Chris Shula. We had success last year, but we think you can elevate this defense. You can take us to another level, and I think he has the potential to do just that. So is he the missing piece? I don't necessarily think that, because I still think the Rams need to figure out the cornerback position. Forbes, if he worked out, he could potentially be that, or you have to look externally, but I think that he is a very important piece to the Rams defense and one that is going to have a massive, massive impact on this team. And if you didn't add him, then yeah, that's an area where you'd still be kind of wondering if they're going to be performing at the highest of levels. So I'm big on Poona Ford, man. I'm excited to watch him in the horns, and it's going to be cool to see that. By the way, end on this. I don't know if you saw this. Lil Wayne on his new album, The Carter 6. Carter 6. On his song, Welcome to the Carter. Here's the lyrics. He says, I done said it before, I'm already ready for war. You've been to hell and back, but have you been to heaven before? I checked the Chopard. I got time today smoking that bomb LA like I'm McVay bombs away. I'm just trying to concentrate. So Sean McVay, you've done a lot, and now you've been name dropped in a Lil Wayne song. So pretty cool. Sean McVay, man. Hey, Super Bowls, MVP level coach. If there was an award, right? I think he's still. He's the MVC, man. He's the most. I call him the MVC. He's the most valuable coach. I truly believe that if you're going to draft coaches in the NFL, he'd be the number one guy that you would take. He's that good. 1852, 8 seasons, 2 Super Bowl appearances, 1 Lombardi Trophy, and now he's in a Lil Wayne song. Hopefully, gets a little residual check or something like that. Welcome to the Carter. Good times. But all right, guys, that's going to do it for the episode of Locked On Rams. My name is Doug McCain. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMAC_LA. See you guys Monday. Have a great weekend. And until next time, whose house? It's Locked On Rams house.